Redskins won, and George Mason won. Wow, what a day. Well, first is some credit goes to Dartmouth. I thought they really defended us well in the first half. We got nothing going offensively. We only scored 28 points, and did we have 60 for the game? So our offense was certainly not what we were hoping to do. Secondly, I thought defensively we didn't play with the kind of urgency that we needed to in the first half, but I thought about 3 or 4 minutes into the second half we started to come to life, and more guys were playing hard. And I thought Luke Hancock and Sherrod probably did a very good job of helping us. Luke offensively and defensively, and Sherrod defensively. I thought Trail Vaughns came in off the bench and played very, very hard as well. Was happy that Cam Long was able to give us more minutes. We think we've discovered some of the things that can help him with his issues. One, he was having a salad as his pregame meal. Not a lot of energy coming from lettuce. So I think he was able to get a little more nourishment, and that certainly helped him, and I thought he played very well. Good all-around game for him.
What do you have today?
Buffet lunch at Brian's Grill. And it was, I don't know all the stuff he had, eggs and some biscuits, but it's a lot more calories.
So when he came out early in the second half, just like the other night, was it the
Yeah.
cramps again?
Yeah, but they went away.
Did he get on the bike? Is that
Yeah.
what he did?
Well, one of the things, again, this is something that he came up with. He thinks what happens when he comes out or at halftime, when his body cools down, he's one of those guys that when he cools down, it's hard for him to heat back up. So the bike was able to, we had it in the locker room at halftime. He was riding the bike. He looked like Lance Armstrong. He was like pedaling. Everybody else is listening. He's like going a mile a minute.
Y'all don't have a team?
I'm sorry?
I was always under the impression y'all had a team for the games.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
Well, but it's a buffet. You can choose whatever you want to eat. I mean, I normally like have pasta and a steak because I'm getting ready to play. You know, that's what I think normally the pregame meal is for players to get their carbs and their protein. Carbs break down very, very quickly into energy, so you have it at the start of the game. The protein breaks down after 3.5, 4 hours, which means you have energy for the second half. And we're going to have a dietitian come in and explain this to our players so that they are better nutrition than maybe their thoughts. You know, salad is really good for my wife, but for our players, I think they should probably get more calories.
What Ryan's shooting range has expanded a little bit this year?
Well, now here's the thing, and I'm going to say this in front of him. We've really encouraged him to work all summer long on his three. And he's done that, and he shoots them in practice. But as we told Jai Lewis, that's not your bread and butter. Your bread and butter is 12 feet and in, those great little moves around the basket, drawing fouls and making it tough on the defense. And then when defenses start to collapse and you move outside, they'll be grateful that you're shooting now an outside shot. But you don't start outside and then go in. You start inside and go out. It's like in football, the running game comes first, then the passing game. Unless you're Steve Spurrier.
But he hit a three right at the beginning, right? Didn't you hit a three?
Yeah, he doesn't listen to me very often.
How-
we had a great discussion during one period where we were in the zone for a while, and Ryan plays the forward spot, and there's a guy wide open. There's only one guy on his side, and Cam has already covered 2 different guys. He's covered his side, he covered the middle, and he was covering the other side. They threw it back to the original guy. There was no one on Ryan's side except Ryan. So I yelled to him, "Get out and cover that." And he's like, "Why? It's not my spot." Then the next time down, there was a guy right underneath the basket who would have shot a layup. Ryan goes running out to cover the guy on the outside. And I said to him, you got to cover the inside guy. And I was like, make up your mind. And I try to tell him by taking him out, talking to him, and he's from New York. He has a certain way of communicating with another New Yorker. And so it's like one upmanship. Like, I'm going to speak my mind and tell you what I think. But as I told him, the last thing is, if you don't listen to me, you sit on the bench. Then I don't have to have this discussion.
So Ryan, just talk about your...
No. If you want to finish with me, because I'm done. I've got guests here. You ask the question to me. When I go out, Ryan can hold court with Cam.
Coach, can you talk about Luke and
I think one of the things, and Cam mentioned to me this summer, and actually I think just in conversation, a lot of the guys were very impressed with the summer work that Luke did. He was involved in a lot of aspects of the game. And quite honestly, in practice leading up to our first exhibition game, I would see it from time to time, but it wasn't something that I thought he was going to be able to do what he's done so far. But in the scrimmage against Georgetown, in the exhibition game against Virginia State, and in our first two games, he's been able to do some things consistently well that obviously has earned him a lot of playing time. I don't know how many minutes he played tonight. Is this the book?
Coach, have you had a chance to take a look at Villanova yet, or does that start tonight?
No, we were lucky enough to have some time to take a look at Dartmouth. We played Friday, Dartmouth Sunday, so that was our only concern.
Is your approach to that game, you have a young team tonight, you were obviously able to throw a full court press. Does that approach go against whoever you're playing, or does that change kind of based on the opponent? An opponent like Villanova is obviously very
well, the strategy of playing full court pressure defense will be against everybody. The adjustments will be sometimes that full court pressure will be man, sometimes it'll be zone, sometimes it'll have traps, sometimes it'll just be straight up. Sometimes the pressure really won't begin fully until the ball crosses midcourt. We still haven't gotten good enough at that, which I'd like to do. But we want to be able to do two things. We want to be able to pressure at the full court level and then pack it in at the half court level. And today and on Friday, we had a hard time controlling the dribbler until tonight, with about 15 minutes to go, DJ and Vertrail started to do a much, much better job of pressuring. And then Luke got the steal, and then Mike got the dunk, and then pretty soon everybody was getting after it. Even Ryan started to play really hard.
Coach, what are the things that Luke's done? You said there have been a couple things he's done specifically to earn those minutes. What would those be?
Well, first of all, he's very active at both ends. He's hard to guard. He's good at driving and scoring. The other night he had a beautiful drive and just dumped it off to Ryan, who got fouled on the play. Did you make that shot? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a 3-point play. And Luke is good if he gets a chance in the open court to finish with a layup. Now, one of the things we do need to get better at is sharing the ball in the open court. The guy with the ball ends up, DJ, Cam, Luke are all taking the shot. Now, it's all right if you can get it to the rim, and it's all right if you pull up and you're by yourself. But the tough part is if we don't hit the open man, and guys get discouraged from running because they don't feel like, hey, I run, nobody throws me the ball. And our big guys got to feel like it's worth it to get in on the fast break, because if the big guys don't get involved in the break, then they quit running themselves. And if you want to be a running team, it starts with the defense and the pressure, and then it continues to the offense, where your defense really is a major part of your offense, because you create, like you saw in that one segment, we got a steal, Luke got a layup, we got a steal, Mike got a layup, and there were a couple other baskets through that segment. I can't remember who scored them all, but where the lead went from 4 to 11 and then to 15. And that is what we're looking for.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Good job, guys. You did wonderful, Ryan. Yes.